Have you ever heard of
AG1
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 Athletic Greens?
Athletic Greens.
Yeah, that. Well, if you clicked on this video, you probably have. But in case you haven't, just let me explain. Basically, it's a 500 billion nutrient magic potion that every YouTuber is advertising now. And when I say every YouTuber, I actually mean a ton of them. Seriously, the only reason I even heard about this product was because a few YouTubers I really liked to watch and really respected actually advertised it. I think the first time I saw it was on Tennyson's channel, who, by the way, if you know him, he's an absolutely hilarious fitness YouTuber. If you're into that stuff, you should definitely check him out. But yeah, anyways, I slowly started seeing more and more of it. Even outside the fitness community, I saw people advertising AG1. Like Maya Higa did an advertisement. Kurt Kaz did an advertisement. I eventually found out even Joe Rogan did an advertisement. Like, what the fuck? I'm 100% sure you can name a whole lot of other people that I never even found, who are also part of this massive ad campaign. But anyway, what exactly is AG1 and why is it a scam? It's a so-called dietary supplement. Now even I gotta admit, not all dietary supplements are a scam, just most of them. And AG1 is definitely one of them. I'm not a science channel, so here is just a brief explanation on why it exactly is a scam. Basically, if you're a relatively healthy person who eats normal stuff, you don't need 99% of all that crap that is inside AG1. And if you're a fat fuck who eats nothing but McDonald's and processed shit every day, AG1 isn't going to help with that either, you know? Like, now, let's say you suspect you're deficient in some vitamins or nutrients. Even then, you don't order a dumbass magic potion from the internet to cure that. Instead, you go to the doctor, you make an appointment, you make a real test, which tells you exactly what stuff you're deficient in. And then you supplement for that specific thing and only that specific thing, right? Now, let's assume you're vitamin D deficient, which to be fair, a lot of people are these days. Then instead of buying Scam G1 for $100 a month, $100, can you, like, bro, I can't even wrap my head around this. But instead of doing this, you go on Amazon and you buy some vitamin D for $12.99, alright? Also, if you're a child or expecting a child, do not use AG1. For some reason the US website doesn't need to disclose this, but at least here in the EU, companies are forced to do so. Can you see it? No? Well, that's because it's the tiniest fucking disclaimer only right behind Andrew Tate's dick. Anyways, if you're not convinced yet, you might be asking, but AG1 always talks about how science-backed their product is, how many studies they reviewed to find the perfect mix of vitamins and nutrients. Surely that disproves everything you just said. Well, I'm glad you ask. And fortunately for us, so did some German journalists. They asked AG1 to show them the studies that they were always talking about. And from apparently thousands of studies that AG1 reviewed, they sent them 2 goddamn studies. Of course, I had to look at them. Both of them were done by reputable sources in a random double-blind and placebo-controlled studies. So everything is great, right? The studies check out and AG1's claims are true after all, right? Wrong. Because although the studies are really well done, they also don't actually say a whole lot. The first one, from the ACP journal for example, says a multivitamin and mineral supplement reduced the incidence of participant-reported infection and related absenteeism. But the catch was, it only did that for people with type 2 diabetes. The second study isn't much better. It basically says that a specific bacterium can reduce an irritable bowel, but only for people with IBF or irritable bowel syndrome. That's it, basically. If you have either of these conditions, AG1 might help you. So, I mean, go for it, I guess. but I have a feeling that even for those things, there are probably better and cheaper alternatives out there. If you're still not convinced that this whole thing is a scam though, I got one last hilarious thing to share with you. The man behind AG1, Chris motherfucking Ashenden. Also, in case you were wondering, motherfucking is not in his middle name, because I have to mention that for legal reasons and stuff. He's one of those business type people. It says on his LinkedIn that he's a serial entrepreneur, whatever the fuck that is. It also says that he likes to eat a lot, which in my opinion is arguably much more important information. Anyways, the point is that I found a lot of people, especially from the business world, that are looking up to him, and he's on all sorts of podcasts about his business and motivation and how he stands for a culture that stands for honesty and integrity and that kind of stuff. Which is pretty hilarious considering his first business was misleading customers into thinking they bought a house while never actually making them owners. Like, what the fuck? Luckily for him, he got away easy with only a fine of around $300,000. Once he got that over, he went then to the US for like various companies and to work for them in marketing, and eventually he founded his own company, the company behind AG1. Like, personally, I would never trust a guy who's unironically wearing a shirt like that, but hey, I mean, it's an early warning sign, I guess. Also, before I end this video, I would just like to say that making this was a lot more effort than I ever thought it would be. So if you liked it, a sub would be very much appreciated. See ya.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.